Hello everyone. Today I want to do a feminine portrait. This is important. We don't paint the feminine the same way you do the masculine. There's a lot of things we're going to talk about. If you are looking for a subject, one good way to go is to go and look into the ancient theatricals and the motion picture stills. I picked up someone here that I really like. I just find this really an attractive image. We will be dissecting every bit of this as I draw. Also, we will look into how we can treat the hair, the background, and all the sundry things that go into making a beautiful watercolor. Okay, let's get going. I'm going to start the sketch. I'm going to use my Black Wing 602, one of the best pencils you can buy. It has a wonderful touch to it. It leaves a trace even if you just let it touch the surface. It's fantastic. And if you want a little more indelible, you just press it down and it becomes incredibly dark, incredibly quick. So it's really worth it, the extra price, to get a good pencil for this, okay? So what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to lay in my form. What I'd like to do is get a composition that goes through the page. I want to do more than just a portrait. I'd like to do, like a finished painting. I like to have space over here so I can lose some of my color in space. And I want to keep this open here. So I think I'll just start laying this in. Do it softly. Be easy on yourself. And when you're doing watercolor, you don't want to erase a lot because you're going to damage the paper. But you're going to have to do some corrections. Now, anytime I do a drawing or form or figure, I always start from the eye, and I do an eyeball. I make a round form like this, and I come in and I start to build the interior. Now, this will give me scale for everything I'm doing. There's some beautiful things here. That eye is very light. It's open. I'm going to make it make sure it's big enough. That'll just give it a nice character here. Bring this over. I'm going to take my time. I'm going to enjoy this. I'm not going to be uptight. I'm not going to rush this. I'm going to come one eye length over here, and I'm going to throw in my other eye form. Now, the eye that is farthest away from the most prominent eye is where we do the least amount of work. We just indicated, but I'm going to tell you right away, I want you to place it properly, because if it's not placed properly, you're not going to be able to do a real good, quick watercolor. You've got to place it so it's perfectly on line. It has the same scale, the volume of the eye, etc., etc. I'm going to come over here. We're keeping our horizontals constantly in line. Okay. And what do I want to say here? I think I want to bring my color in there. I like that dough kind of a little depressed look. What she has is this beautiful long nose. I'm going to capitalize on that. I'm going to fix in my vertical. Find my vertical, so the tip of the nose is down here. I'm going to come over here, and I want to pull the nose like this. I'm going to pull it down and over. So the nose generally is about the thickness of an eye. We're pretty close. And we'll just continue here. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful lip form. Beautiful form. Now, while I'm doing this, I'm thinking constantly of how I want to paint it, what I want to lose, how I want to handle some of these things. You see, this will be a color mass that goes in. Voila. And there we go. That's a start. That is a start. Let's get this line, descriptive line. This is what will make or break a drawing. I'm going to come down here, pull it in. What I like to do is lose this into the into the hair form. There's a half tone here. Let's get the hair mass. Make sure we have. I want to just come in here and do a nice portrait of this form here. A detailed study. This is my break in color. This is my break in color. There we go. We'll come down here. Looks like the hair is overlapping the eye socket. All right, this I want to lose. I want to lose this. And we'll do this. I want to make sense of this hair form. When I make sense, I want to make sure that my darks are properly placed. I'm going to leave off this band here, only because I don't want it to be too dated. It doesn't, you know. Okay, and this is going to be cool. This is my darker form. Darker form. Okay. No, that's a little too aggressive. Let's come in. I'd like to open that up like this. You know, we're always designing form, attractive form. We're not copying. We're always designing. Bring this up a little bit. There we go. I'll pull this over. Let's bring that hair over here, even though we don't see it. See? Okay. Now, all right, I'll be right back. I have to check these things and make sure they're right. I'm going to look for a maybe some kind of a different robe. I'll have to see. All right, now let's continue. I am going to now I'm going to establish my darks, and again I'm going to mention that your darks will be used primarily as a color when you do your watercolor. Like I said earlier, this is going to be a scale. This will determine the scale of my whole drawing. I just like to take my time here and find an interesting phenomenon with my darks from the pencil. Now what happens, the more you draw, see, I'm going to keep that light, and this is my darkest dark of the whole painting right here. Right here. So the more you draw, the darker it becomes. the larger the form has a tendency to become larger. So I may have to readjust some of my drawing, my earlier drawing. That's normal, no problem. I'm going to make sure I have my form here. The eyebrows have a personality, a definite personality. We have to be one with that. I'm going to pull this over, obviously. So we have a pretty good eye form. I think we're doing pretty well here. I said earlier that I wanted to just drop in a color over here. I'm going to prepare that. Just preparing the surface to take paint. It's like we do in oils. Now it looks like that nose, which I really liked, is a little small. So I'm going to just do this gingerly. I'm just going to move a second here. I want to make sure I have my info here. I want to get a little more gray in here, just so these two things add up. So let's go like this. This is how we take it down, just like that. Don't scrub, just go like this. And there we go. Let's go down here. Voila. My nose form is here. Cool. Just take that down a little bit. This is coming around. The thing is, if you allow yourself the time to draw properly, you'll understand better when it's time to paint. So let's get this guy down a little bit, just a little bit. Da, 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 da. I'm going to pull it down right down here. Alright. So it's good, you can see I should know what I'm doing, but this happens all the time. It's what happens, just what happens. I'm not going to give her too much of a smile. I don't like smiles. Smiles for me becomes too personal. You want to get a universal read when you do a painting. You want this to be something that's not necessarily a photo of someone, it's just a creation. Okay, that's that. I don't want to do too much more for that. What I would like to do now is to make sure that I have my volume in place. I kind of like this. I'm going to do something like this, I think. Just kind of like that. I'll place this over. What do we have here? Okay. So far, so good. This is not my line. This is not my line. This is not my line. And let's find this nice movement in space. Goes around the form. And I want to get an echo. And let's go. Let's find a nice form that comes over, describes the form. And I will be throwing in some of the the aspects of the robe. All right. Let's see what I want to say here. I want to double read this. I want over here, and there we go. All right. Da 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 da. A little darker here, and we're ready to go to paint. Okay, let's go. Okay, now we're back. We're going to get into paint, into the finished product. First of all, let's talk a little bit about the palette. This is a Holbein palette. It's metal, and it is covered with a ceramic. You can keep it clean. If it's really dirty, you can clean it with rubbing alcohol, and it really works well. I'm very happy with this. These are my colors. They're on my website. You can go to my website, and you'll get full details. This is how I set up my palette. Like I said, go to the website. You'll have all the info. These are, let's say, the Antwerp Blues, a little exceptional. Of course, the violets. I have a nice selection from the cools to the warm. I like the Van Dyke brown. I like to mix the darker brown with my violets. It gets a great, wonderful gray. Anyway, you will see as we progress. I will try to explain all my color choices as we go. Now I use Winsor Newton paintbrushes, Series 7 Sable. We have here, we have a 12 and an 8. So the 12 is great when you have big areas to fill, and the 8 is just the everyday paint brush. It works very, very well. Okay, so let's get going, and let's enjoy. Make sure you have your rag, and make sure you have your Kleenex. Very, very important. All right, so now I'm going to mix a base color. This is going to be the shadow area of the portrait. I'm going to go over here to my CADs. I'm going to break that CAD with a little bit of yellow ochre. You see, that's more of a flesh color right there. It gets away from that real sweet CAD color. That's a nice way to break it. I want to pick up a little bit. Now watch, I'm going to use this, and I'm going to go into my shadow. So I'm going to go over here to the cerulean blue, and I'm going to start to mix. There's a way to start. That's the way to go. Okay. All right. Okay, I always start with the nose. Do a portrait of the nose. So this is what we're going to do. I come down here. Again, this is my shadow area. It's very, very little shadow. You can see very little. I'm going to diminish this. I want to keep this nice and wet here because I'm going to be back very, very soon working this. Now I'm going to go into my CADs, and I'm going to get a very gentle blush in the nose. I'll do this while it's wet. Now this photo is been washed out. Beautiful photo, but it's been washed out, and that's what happens. And I am going to be proactive. This is my highlight. That's the tip of the nose, the absolute tip of the nose. And I'm going to bring this color up. Okay. I'm going to bring that color up. Now this is going to diminish, obviously, with when it dries. It'll be just an echo. Just an echo of color. and that's just what we want. Not a lot, just an echo. Take this down a little bit because I'm just not in the mood. And I want to keep a nice, there's a halftone coming right through here. This is really, really pretty. I want to keep that. All right, so let's get going. Now I'm going to do right in one go. I'm going to do my shadow side of the figure. So let's get going. Now I don't want this to go into my nose, so I'm going to just touch the area. This I want dark up here. Dark, dark, dark. I will come back in and place this later. Now I want to introduce enough color here that we feel a change in color. You see? Change in color. And I'm just going to take my time. See how important it is to have a good drawing? I don't want this to go into my nose. I don't want it to bleed. I really don't. And we're going to keep this a nice halftone all the way through here. Just a nice halftone. Anything that's away from the main portion of the lighter, the farther away the shadow is, the second eye, the less info we introduce. Okay, I'm just going to let that be. I want, while this is wet, I want to do this. I would like to get some of my lip form in, because I'd like to move this in space. So what I will do is try to find the top of the form. Voila. And I'll just keep that as a first go. And I'd like to set the tone here. Okay. I'd like to set the tone. I want this to be a subtle movement. All right, before I go any farther, I want to just get away with these lines. I kind of enjoy having a nice infinitesimal change in my line preparation. Okay, let's do the forehead. That's a little too weak. So you want to keep it simple. There's 3 colors to build here. Just 3 colors. Actually 2, or just a touch of yellow in here. So just keep it simple. Keep it. Don't try to do too much at once. I want to get a little more color in this passage just for the heck of it, as I'm in the mood. I want to sense color. Watercolor is color, just color. I'm going to make a nice transition right here. Get rid of this, get this in. Now when you paint your flesh, you go into, particularly on this side. This side, no, there's more of a edge that we will have to deal with. But on this side, just take the color and take it into your head space. It's where the hair is. I'm going to do something while this guy is wet, and this is what we'll be talking about. Now, there's essentially three colors here. I'm going to apply another color. I'm going to apply yellow, well, kind of a yellow, orange yellow up here. And I do this to activate color. Now, no one will know it. You're not going to tell anyone. I won't tell anyone. But this is what we do. We just use these things to generate a beautiful passage. Now I'm going to throw a little more pink in there, and that's watercolor right there. Now before I go any farther, I'm in the mood. I'm always in the mood. You'll see I'm just mixing just a little bit of red. I'm going to punch up this area right here while it's wet. Okay? You own this. You own it. You can do whatever you want. And that should just about do that now. All right, let's continue. Let's continue with the portrait. Now I'm going to go just do the eye now, and this has a nice halftone right here. I like that halftone. I'm going to keep it kind of wet, and I'm going to come over here. Da 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 da. And I'm going to add my reds to it. Okay, voila. Remember, we like this heavy area here. I'm going to make it a little heavier, just a little. And I'm going to pull this up over here. Now I like to keep a white reed right here, so I'm going to keep it. That's my job, and that's what we're going to do. All right, so I'm going to keep this. I want to get this into. Now, anytime you're going to work with the eyeball, it's a flesh color in here. Just go for it. You want to feel the flesh color. Probably the whitest white in here. That is obviously 2. There we go. All right. Make sure now that this does not, I want to get this to work softly. And let's just do our thing. Here we go again. Da 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 da. Cerulean blue. Cad red. I think I'll read. I want to read. Oh, that's too much blue. Let's do a little less. There you go. All right. That's about ready to go. Let's go. Let's do our thing now. All right. I'm going to do this. Oh, I don't like that color. That's what I want right here. Remember, we're going into the hair mass. We're going to feather right away. We feather immediately. Feather immediately. I like it. I feel that nice blue because I want the blue, because I want my pink. Now I'm going to place a pink in here that's really pink. Not the flesh color pink. It's almost directly from my cadmium red. And I'm going to place it right here. This will give a nice blush. Nice blush to the painting. Okay, voila. And then we'll bring it down just a little, just to get a nice marriage. You see that beautiful passage there? Oh, I'm so good, so good. So now, I'm not sure you've seen my demo of just general watercolor. We have those on the website, obviously. The face is an egg form. It takes it turns under down here, so we really are conscious of turning the form into a darker form as it comes under here. And that's what we just did. So there we go. We're almost done. Isn't that fun, huh? Isn't that fun? All right, we've used our whites extensively. I love my whites. I want to use them. I'm going to go in, and there's a plane. We have a beautiful plane here, and another plane, and another plane. So I want to own that plane. And when I say own, I'm going to go in and make it mine. So let's see, that has a nice pink. Again, now, because it's a flesh, I'm going to come over here to my yellow ochre, and I'm going to get a fleshy color, not the red that we have here, but a kind of a fleshy color. And I want to just describe this plane right here. Okay? We don't, because if I didn't tell you, you wouldn't know what I am doing. But we're so good that we can place these things. And I'm going to go, even though it's not in the photo, I'm just going to get a little bit of a rise in here. All right. So I'm going to let this be. Now I'm going to do the pièce de résistance. I'm going to make this work. You see this yellow passage here? I'm going to place it here. It'll be infinitesimal, but it will really create beauty. You see how the beauty is created, how the color is activated, all the colors there? Let's do the same thing on the face. And I'm going to go into what color do I want. Let's do this. So you got to put it on, and we won't even know it's there. Okay. That's all. Now, please, this is something I'm so happy to let you in on this. It's really important that we do that kind of a thing. It just generates a beautiful, beautiful passage. All right, let's just make sure we got things we want down here. There we go. There we go. If you can get some of those transitions just beautifully orchestrated and simple, that'd be great. I don't want to deal with a second form in here, so I'm getting rid of this. There you go. All right, so now we are, I'm going to work color quickly here. It's fun when it's black and white because you can do whatever you want. You know what I think I'll do? I think I will put a little bit of purple in there. I'm in the mood. I'm in the mood. I'm in the mood. This is my purple right here. With a blue underpainting. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. Just for the heck of it, okay? Just for the heck of it. And we'll do it. Does that read? I'm not sure. I want it right here, and I want it right up here. Now these are all halftones. We will come back in and we will negotiate. Our darks and a little bit of pink over here. I'm in the mood. Oh, and what I love to do is just this. Fun and games. There's a beautiful little pink area right here. There we go. And we will place it here. Look, we're going to do this. Let's just enjoy using color and everything that entails. You know. All right, so there we go. There's some scale. I have to work on the lower part of the neck because I want that to go back. So I'm going to mix exactly the same color we had before. I'm going to place this in. Edge of the form. Let's just go through here. We found a nice form that we liked. I'm going to blend this into the mass. And what I want to do, I think I'm going to just take a color here and prepare this to take my face color, my hair color when we're ready. I just want to get a little, I'm going to hedge my bets. I'm just going to hedge my bets. My bets. Da 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 da. And there we go. This will be nothing. Nothing, 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 nothing. Into nothingness. And take this to blot. There we go. Now what I like to do is to finish the neck area. So let's go same old, same old. I want to go more into my reds. A little bit of a little more red. And what I'd like to do is I will drop color. And I'm going to redo this guy. You have to do it several times because it just doesn't want to always follow your advice. So let's find a color form we like. I'm going to put this over here, and I'll come over here. E basta. Okay. Well, that's the start. That's the start. So let's let this be for the time being, and I will be right back. Here we go again. Now what I want to do here is I'm going to finish some of the detail, the eyes, the mouth, because I want to get to find my darkest dark before I go into the hair to see how I'm going to treat the hair. So let's just go. I think I'm going to give her green eyes. I'm in the mood. So this is how we do it. We go to our yellow. I'm going to break it just a little bit. Touch of green just so it's, there we go, something like this. Now I'm going to go to the bottom of the eye. It's like a marble, and light comes in through here and it comes out here. You see, that's your lightest light. So there's our color. I chose that color because it's going to activate all the other colors. And then I will go in with my green base right over here. See, it's fun, huh? Just fun. Go like this and pull that green in. Pull the green in here. Just outline the form. There we go. That could be. I'm going to pull it over a little bit. A touch of blue would be cool. Just a touch of blue. That would really be cool. I'm going to see if I can get the blue to resonate. I'd love that. Let's see, maybe I'll put it right up here. See if I can get it in there enough. Blue, blue, blue. I'll come over here. There we go. It's my darkest dark, lightest light, right there. All right, so I'm going to pull this over, and I'll put my eyelashes in soon. So I'm going to go to the left eye. Now this is a little tricky. I'm going to place a nice color in there, but it's going to be so much more underpainted. It'll be underpainted. So let's go in. And we'll go over here. And what I'm going to do, I'll finish with a halftone in my flesh area. We can lay in a little bit of yellow. It'd be kind of cool. It's going to be diminished a little bit. It will still be kind of cool. Okay. Let's open up the iris. The iris has to work in tandem. So I'm going to just bring that over and this one over just a tad. All right, now I'm going to build the eyelash form. And essentially brown and blue, a little bit of green. And I'm going to do it while it's wet here. Okay. I'm going to set the color back, just like this. A nice color mass in here. Nice value, darker value. Just set it back there. All right, so I'm going to just build another gray, dark flesh tone. And here we go. It's essentially what that's all about up there. Just going to open this up to nothing. And I'm going to diminish this. I like that the bead is just a color field. Just a color field. I'm going to even diminish this a little bit. That's all I want. That's all I want right there. Alright, so let's work on the lips. Now, I'll get this a little softer here, just for the heck of it. We'll come back and do our eyelashes. I'll show you how to do that. There's a way to do it. So let's do our lips. So let's go. We'll clean this up a little bit here. And, yes. So, then we're going to do, we know how to do that now. We know how to do our lips. Let's just go, let's not go too red. Cut it a little bit. I may go with a little alizarin crimson, just to get a little more depth in my color. So let's go now. What happens here is that she has a, this is describing form. This is describing form. We have a darker passage here. And of course over here is going to be a little darker. What I like to do is to keep light area in here because I just may come in and put another pass of dark in there. So there we go. That's that. I'm going to pull up my color in here. I'll pull that over there a little bit. And you see the importance of getting the darkest darks in here now. This creates form, size, shape, and gives us a visual. Voila. Voila, voila, voila. I'm going to pull this up a little bit. And I want to pull this. I want to give a shelf here. A shelf, a little turn under here. Voila. Voila. Okay. All right. So. Another thing while we're at it. This goes on and on, but you know what? I'm having fun. I don't know about you. I'm just having fun. So I'm going to put a little bit of color in here. Okay? 'Cause we can. 'Cause we can. All right. Pull that up. Pull this over. And there we go. Anytime you go near the lips or any place where there's flesh, always go with your reds. So now you see this triangle is working pretty well. We can go on to bigger and better things now. Let's just get that just right. All right. Okay. Cool. I kind of like stuff that's going on here. I still have things to do, and we will do them. Now what I'd like to do is to attack the hair. Now the hair is really another ball game completely. I want to make sure my drawing. So let's let this dry, and I'll get back and I'll start with the hair. Okay, we're back. Look, we're going to do the hair. The hair is not easy. It's kind of like a crapshoot. So what you got to do is put everything to your advantage. I'm going to show you how I set it up. This is a pretty big painting actually. So I'm going to prepare a nice big puddle of my base color, which is burnt sienna. You want to make it rich, and you want a lot of it because you want to flood the color. Okay, I'm going to put this down 1 second. Let's see, I'm going to clean my brush, get all the pigment, into the trough here. Come over here, clean my brush. I've been cleaning my water regularly. I've already got some blue going, some ultramarine blue. You want to get a lot of color. Again, I'll say that over. And particularly with the ultramarine blue, you have an interest to make sure it's well ground up in here, because the pigment, sometimes there's little chunks of this. It's just the way the paint is made. And it all obviously depends on the mark, but that's that. Let's see, I'm going to go just a little more. I always want to go more than I think I need. You always do more than you think you need. You don't want to lose a painting you've been working on for several days, you know, or for several hours or whatever. You just don't want to lose a painting, no matter what. Okay, my 3 colors are there. So let's get going. Now, I'm going to do this side first because it's the darkest side, and I've designed something I like. I have a nice straight here and a couple of rounds there. So let's just get going and see what's going to happen. I want to lightly put a little bit of moisture here. Just a little bit of moisture. If I can just stop the color. So, alright, let's get going. Now, when I go, I'm going to be drawing. I'm not just putting paint down. I'm going to be drawing. I'm going to be thinking, what do I want to say? How I want to say it. Talk about. This comes up here nicely. I love this form. I'm going to go for it. There we go. And this is another form I really like. I'm going to go for that. And I will start to draw the hair form in. What I want to do is to go with a color break. I have this ready here. And there we go, here's our color break. I want the color to break as we go outside, as we go to the light of the page. And here we go, let's just do our thing now. Less pigment, and I will come back in and I'll be playing with that. Now what I want to do, I want to make sure that my angle here is well defined, and this is what I want up here, and there we go. Now I'm going to drop in my darks. And I'm going to let them play now. You notice it's the absolute complementary, and we're going to move it through space. Let the watercolor do its thing. Just let it do its thing. And all you do is conduct the bus. Let it do it. Let it just do its thing. Nice and soft. You don't have to worry about anything. This whole area is in shadow. Just take this, and I want to lose it, and I want to lose this line. There we go. It's fun, 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 fun. Notice a weird color. Weird is good. Weird is good. Weird is good. I will take a little off as I go. It's the yellow, obviously, that's changed that. I like it, I like it, I like it. Okay. Cool stuff there. And what I'll do, we'll pull that up. Then I want to get kind of a dry brush and just play. But down here, I would like to lose some of the definition, and I'd like to go into nothingness. What should I call nothingness? Which is what watercolor is about. So I will do that. You see, I'm going to come over here too. Take that down a little bit, that's fine. Doesn't have to make sense. Doesn't have to make sense. It's just beautiful color. Maybe a little up here. I'm in the mood. I'm in the mood. Okay, we're going to dance the color. We're going to dance the color. Voila. So let's let that be. And we'll do it like this. And then we'll do the other side. What I'd like to do is to drop a little bit of my red in there. And there's our marriage right there. There's our marriage. Now that is pure watercolor. You see right there, pure watercolor, which is kind of cool. All right, let's go. We'll do the other side. Let's let that dry. Let's let that dry. All right, I'm going to do the right side of the hair, same thing as we did before. I'm going to put a little bit of humidity so the transition is not too abrupt from color to the face. It's just something to think about. Okay, just nothing, it's just water. All right, so let's go. Let's go. Now I have mixed everything. I'll show you again. I mixed 3 colors. Please allow yourself to do that. If I got anything to teach you, you've got to learn to do that. Get it prepared, because the time you take to mix it and to remix it, it's going to dry and it's not going to be spontaneous. So please, please, please. All right, I'm going to try not to spill this. So let's go. Oop, it's going all over the place here. Sutalo. Ay, 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 ay. Okay. I'm going to have to put it down here. Sorry. There's so much liquid. All right, let's go. I'm going to draw. I constantly draw as I go. See what I want to say. How much I want to say. Kind of like this form here. What I'd like to do on this side is use a little more yellow right away, like up here, because she's in the light. She's in the light over here. This is a dark shadow, and this is the light. How much I can get away with, I'm not sure. So that's the fun. Fun and games. Of course, you're making an abstraction of what the imagery. That's your role as an artist. To make it simple as you can. I'm kind of liking some of this stuff here. Ooh, I like. Ho, 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 ho. Love it. I love it. I love it. I'm going to do this. You see? Fun, fun, fun. Okay. What I like to do is to now navigate a little bit of presence of the hair presence here. I'm going to drop a little more color in here because I'm in the mood. Now, of course, we're coming with our dark blue too, so we can't get too excited right now. What I like to do is negotiate. I would love to negotiate my hair form here. Right down to here. Let's pick that up. And I want to let it go to the universe. Cozy. See, hair is soft. 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 We can do this. We got the right. We can do it. Now she has these curls. I'm not sure I want to put a bunch of curls in here. What I will do is I will frame it up, and we'll do that pretty soon. I'm going to pull this over. We'll just let this thing be. Let it take its own course. Let that soft. And now I'm going to enter my blue. I'm going to let that be. I'm going to enter my blue form. So let's see what we got now. just a tad up here, just a tad up here. I'm going to pull this over. This over. And I will prop up my pad. And I'm going to drop my blue right here. And let it be now. And that just may do it. Let's clean this up here while we're at it. I'll let it be. I just love when it does its own thing. So I'm just going to sit back. I'm going to place a few things. Above all, this is the watercolor. Above all. And you got the watercolor to do its thing, and that's what we've done. So I want to get it dark in here. And voila. Yeah, and I want to get it dark in here. And voila. And I'm going to get some. I'm going to own some of these forms here. When I say own, I'm just going to start to do some hair forms. No, I really don't care what, if it looks exactly like photo. I really don't care. The only thing I care about is beauty. Is it attractive? Does it have a voice? And I'm kind of liking that. I'm gonna diminish this up here. I may just take some of this to the universe. Nice soft, just a soft passage. You know, like we did over here, right? What I'd like to do is to... Alright, that's it. Basta. Little softer edge here. We can do that, no problem. No problem. Now you'll see as this dries, it'll be less tense, and it'll be fine. But that is what it's all about right there. Right there, right there, right there. Right there, right there, right there. Okay. Let's let that dry. And we will be right back. Let's see, I may try something here. That's enough. That's enough. We're cool. We're cool. Okay, now while the hair is drying, I am going to go in and get the definitive, definitive darks in my portrait area. Okay, what I'd like to do maybe this, I want this to be a little maybe more dense. We'll see. Let's just go a little bit at a time. Now the mouth can go, we can go to another level with color. So I'm going to mix a Cad and alizarin crimson. Try to get a nice rich reed, which we need. And let's go. Let's go. It's going to be, that's a little too vibrant in color. It will diminish a little bit, but I'm going to take it down with an ultramarine just to get the color I want. And here we go. That's my color right there. Exactly, exactamo. Voila. Voila. It has to register. That's part of the charm of this child. Yeah, let's go. Let's go now. Bring the color down around. Okay. So there we go. Now there's a nice little blend in here. See? And I'm going to pull the color up here a tad, just a tad, right up in here, because I'm in the mood. Hey, isn't that fun? Is that not fun? See, we just took our time, and voila. Okay. Now the mouth is working with the eye and with the hair. What we do need here is maybe a little more aggressivity in our darks. So let's look into that. I'm going to blend this a little more. Don't like this line right here. What I shall do is this. And if I don't get it here, I can just take it off with a penknife. Can come back in. And I may do that later. Voila. Okay, Ivanka, before I do some of the other things here, I think I'm going to address this guy. And let me think. What do I want to say here? I think I'd like to keep that blue feel. I'd like to keep the blue going through. So let's just do our thing. Let's just see what if. Let's just see what if. So I'm going to mix now. I'm going to mix a color that I like here. I have no idea what I'm doing whatsoever. I'm just going to mix color. Of course, I'm going to my blue. That's a little too aggressive. I may go over here. If I go with a violet, I may try to find a complementary to that violet. I may just go and drop in a little bit of, I may just drop in a tad bit of red. I'm just preparing it on my palette. Okay. All right, let's go. Let's go. And let's see. I want to get it light enough, and then I'll come back in later. And we have a form here like this. Let's see. And a form like this. This is going to have to go back. So and there's a bunch of stuff over here. Remember, we just may try to throw. Yeah, we'll see. We'll just see. Yeah, you don't want to be boring, right? Right. And remember what we did? Remember the complementary color, the complementary? We're going to do the same thing. It's not going to be green. It will be a yellow. That's too much, obviously. That's too much, obviously. And I'll make the marriage this way. Here we go. Let it just be into just nothing. Let it be. Let it be. That's watercolor right there. Now let's turn the corner. I'm going to get a little more aggressive with my line. And let's do this. Love to have some line in here. Love to have line. Scripted line. Cool. Just keep them simple here. Let's just keep it simple. Yes, yes, yes. That's enough right there. Cool, cool, cool. Let that dry, and we will come back a little later. Okay, let's go. Hope this registers well. So let's go. I'm going to do the eyebrows, and of course I'm going to go with a color of the hair. To start out, we're going to place the color in softly. Just lay them in with a dry brush. And you know they have a personality and they move through space, so we have to be one with that. I don't want to get a lot. That's about what I want for the first go. Same over here. Of course, we're in the shadow over here. And I want that very, very light right there. Just want the color mass. Just the color mass. And now we'll just take our burnt sienna and a little bit of cobalt, a little bit of ultramarine, and we will go and find our color. And here we go. Okay, boy, this is fastidious, but that's what it has to be. I don't have enough intensity of color in the eyebrows. And I shall do what I shall do. There we go. And there we go. Okay, that's that. Okay, let me just play with this. I want this just the right intensity there. That's just what I want. I want to make sure it's just perfect for what I want. Just a little more. And a little more. Okay. That's that. Now let's see what we're going to do. I want a couple of darks. Just may set the nose up a little more. May bring it out just a tad. Right here. Yep, that's what I want, and that's what I want. And there we go. And there we go. It's a little less stark, the mouth for the composition. And I'm going to finish this guy. It's about time, right? It's time to go to lunch. Whoa. Okay, so let's do our decoration kind of thing. I'm going to put a nice red decoration here. What color, I'm not sure. What kind of red? Let's go with a cad. I'll break it with a little bit of alizarin crimson first of all, and then I'll come back in. No, you know what I'll do? I'll go with a nice halftone and come in my alizarin crimson later. Voila. Let's do this. Dark orange, red orange, and voila, basta. Now this will all be darker eventually. This is going to be lighter. It's the lightest color. Let's just take these down just a tad. It's a little aggressive. And voila, that's it. Okay, now I'm going to go with my darker color, because this is in the shadow, and we'll just do it like this. Alizarin crimson, and I'll even take a little bit of blue in there. There we go. There we go. That's what I want right there. That's what I'm talking about. We'll go right over. Okay. Still have the color, and that'll sit beautifully right into the neck. Makes sense. Goes right into the neck. And we can do this and this. Over here we'll do a nice cool. Cool. That should do it. Basta. That should do it right there. Okay, let's stop there. Now we're back. We're going to finish this little painting right now. I just want to touch one or two things because I have this beautiful red hair. I want to put red into the eye for the eyelash, to represent the eyelash. I think I'll only do that on the right eye. And we'll do this. There we go. Just what we need right there. Cool, cool, cool. And that'll accentuate the green. I'm going to hit it once more right here. There we go. That makes sense, right? So let's go over here, and I have one line I have to establish, which is this one right here. It's too dark. There we go. The dark line has to be up here, and we have a secondary line right here. Okay, gonna go around and around. And we just want to keep it really subtle over there, and that's what we'll do. One more go here. And I'm not reading my color as I want. There we go. Just a question of creating a ensemble of beautiful color and form. And I think that's going to just about do it. I'm going to put it up here so you can see it. Let's get it straight. And I think that's just about it, folks. So, I'm back again because I had second thoughts on the finish of this painting, and I just wanted to show you how you can come back in and correct certain errors. So I found that this white space right here was a little too aggressive for what I wanted to say, considering the color around it. I'm going to take that white down just a very, very little, and I'm going to alter my gray patterns also. Okay, so this is how we do it. All right, first of all, you get absolutely the cleanest water imaginable. You cannot go in with dirty water. I've mixed a mixture of cad red and yellow ochre, and I have this as a color I'm looking for. And I want to get a little more ready while I'm at it here. You don't need a lot. Yeah, I want to go a little warmer, just a little warmer. There's my color mass. I'm going to squeeze out my color excess so I have enough. I'm going to go prepare the surface now with very, very clean water. I know exactly what I want to say. I'm going to come up here, diminish this a little bit up in here, You're going to be very careful that you conduct the water properly. And I'm going to make sure that I've covered everything the way I want. Okay, take my color, I'm going to drop it in, and there we go, there's that blush. I want that to be a little more prevalent throughout the painting. You're going to just move it in space, and then pull it over until you get just the right amount of color. I'm going to just diminish this as we go. I'm going to let this and just let it go. Just let it go back into its where it started. Go back. There we go. I want to own more of a blush here. There we go. All right, that's it. That should do it for that. Now I'm going to bring my gray mass in here just a little more aggressive. I'm going to let this dry, and I will do the second part immediately. All right, now to the next step. I'm going to wet. We notice how we go section by section. I'm going to wet this area here with clean water, and I've decided to continue the blush effect up in here. And here we go. Just want to get a little in here. See? That's it. That's it. I'm going to go with my gray. I'm going to work this in here. I'm going to just diminish them, put just a touch of gray in that. Right over here. There we go. And we're going to own this. It's exactly what I want right there. Exactly. Exactly. So. Take this down just a little. Take it up. Here we go. There's my color right there. I'm going to stop this, and I have one more passage, and I'll get right back to you. Let's go again. I'm going to do the last part of the face, and I want to touch the lips a little bit. So let's get going. I'm going to flood this area right here with water, nice clean water. You don't want to get too much water. There we go. Okay, let's go. I'm going to take off a little bit of the excess paint, just a little bit. Get this transition just a little more simpler transition right here. Okay, now let's go with our color. I'll mix just a little more here. That's my blush right there. We'll let it go down to here and up to here. All right, there we go. I'm going to let that be. There's one little thing I'd like to do. I don't know if I can get away with it. I'm going to pull just a little area in here into the nose, because she had a little bit of a break there. So I'd like to use that. There we go. Let's do that. And we're good. Good to go. Now I'm going to go in and clean up some of the lines. Make sure they're not too aggressive. That's what I wanted there. I want to correct the lip size. I want to make it just a little larger, because I think it would add to the beauty of the painting. So I will do that right now. Get another brush here. That should do it. I'm going to keep that like that. I'm going to work on the lips. just a little more over here. Just going to take it over just a little bit. Give it a little more form. I'll wait until that dries. Okay, let's just let it be now, and that should just about do it. Okay, thank you.